The following game contains explicit sexual content and is intended for adult audiences only. This game's story includes difficult subject matter not suited for all audiences. Portions of this game include sudden sounds or flashing lights. The use of audio is recommended. Hey, welcome back to another video, and today I will be playing Under Heaven for my 5th episode now, I think. It's been well over 4 months since the last time this got an update, and I'm very excited to play this again. And the longer time span is for good reason, because this is technically a double update. They're changing how they do their update schedule, I think, something like that, if I remember their Patreon post correctly, because I read it a little while ago. And they're updating that, so they just decided to push out 2 updates to the public. And I think there's another update right now that is only to Patreons that will eventually get pushed out as well, if I remember correctly. But either way, this update is bigger, and it has a lot more in it. Apparently there's a lot more art and stuff like that in it, so that's why it took a while. And that's okay. So now I'm finally glad to be back and play this again. I guess nothing much else to say except to just jump right into it. What I love about this visual novel is they have the chapter recaps. So I'm gonna check this out. If oh, okay, that was a weird hang. Yeah, so we got chapter 5 right here. So chapter 4. Having finally healed up, Ash's attempts to seek gainful employment go poorly. It's the latest in a long series of failures, and he begins to despair of ever finding a job. He comes home frustrated, and Julian does his best to comfort him. The moment raises uncomfortable feelings for both men, given their present circumstances. In search of distraction and an outlet for some of those particular feelings, Ash takes Lark up on their earlier offer to explore weird sex stuff in the exchange. The experience proves more thought-provoking than expected, as Lark invites Ash to use the powers of the exchange to explore sexual fantasies around gender in ways that would be impossible in real life. Julian, meanwhile, comes home distressed over their earlier encounter and has a conversation with Amir in which he uncovers his own romantic feelings towards Ash. Both agree, however, that they're better not acted on while Ash is dependent on Julian for rent. Ash ends up heading out with Amir and Alex for a night on the town. He is, at long last, able to forge some connection with the other housemates over common interests, or at least what sports trivia can remember. Ash's evening is disrupted as he begins to suffer another mysterious episode. He manages to conceal his condition and hide in the bathroom. After blacking out, he awakens to find that he's scratched a string of numbers into the mirror. Determined to conceal what's happened, he nonetheless takes a picture of the numbers before departing. After further failed attempts at job hunting in the subsequent days, Ash at last manages a breakthrough. Amir gets him a job as a dishwasher at the same bar that he works at. After his first shift, however, Amir confronts him in the alleyway and demands to know if he has any reason to believe that Derek might be connected to his disappearance. Ash gently inquires whether Derek modified his exchange firmware or whether he might have been experiencing mental health issues. Amir firmly rejects the idea that he might have killed himself. With no information to offer, Amir warily lets the subject drop. But how long can this new fragile piece hold? Yeah, so that's about what I remember. The part where Lark and Ash do their little thing in the exchange was not in my video, you know, for obvious reasons. I can't show that stuff on YouTube. But yeah, everything else is pretty much what I remember, so I think saves work. I think you can just chapter select though, like, because I still have all my saves here, but you can just chapter select, so like, might as well just use that. Because usually saves break, so yeah, I might as well. Ash has been back for a bit over a month. It's a pleasant Friday afternoon, and it's his turn to make dinner. My attempts at helping have already gotten me shooed out of the kitchen. But he doesn't mind me taking a seat at the kitchen table nearby and chatting while he works. I don't mind either. My crush on him hasn't gotten any easier, not that he knows. I'm surprised that you didn't just go with a jarred sauce. His ear flicks. Usually do. Just kind of felt like going all out this time. Something about the way he says it and the way he doesn't look at me makes me a bit uneasy. I can't help but think back to when I hugged him. It's the kind of awkward memory that keeps you up at night. But maybe I'm just reading too much into things. Well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Everything smells amazing. What all do you put in your meatballs anyway? Oh my god. Is it H? Yes. A new CG! This is awesome. I have to take a moment and admire these art pieces because a lot of work goes into them. Once again, like I think I talked about this before, but I love this like effect that makes it look like it was drawn on a canvas. I don't know what it's called, like splotching, I think, or something like that, where you tap the art, you tap it with like a paint color, and it will imprint onto it because the canvas has like a certain texture on it that makes it look like that. But obviously it's digital, but still, I really like how it looks. It's really cool. Family secret. Oh, come on. Eggs, breadcrumbs, meat, and spices. A little bit of garlic and onion. I'm not sure how much you're expecting from me here. I was just curious. Well, I mean, I did have it a lot when I was growing up. Mom was never big on the texture of, you know, printed steaks or drumsticks or whatever. It's not like we were gonna afford the real thing. So any meat was usually ground or sausage. Got my chili recipe down to a science, too. Nice. I'm with your mom, honestly. But what about stuff that's like middle of the road, right? Like, I don't know, shredded meat on a quesadilla or pizza or something. Case by case basis. Besides, home pizza always sucks anyway. What? Sorry, Julian. Your oven just isn't up to the task. Well, once my turn rolls around, I just might make you eat those words and some good pizza. Maybe it's just my imagination, but something seems to pass over his face for a moment. We'll see. I'll have you know I'm a tough critic. Lark's a tough critic, and they like my pizza. They're a tough critic of art. Their food habits are distressing. Well, you've got me there. But I still think you'll like it. I probably will. Our conversation stays light and easy as the warmth of the evening sun and the smell of the sautéing onion and garlic surrounds us like a warm blanket. And even if Ash isn't looking for help, I persuade him to let me split a beer between us while he works. I'm almost sad when it's actually time to eat and the others come in. Oh, it smells good. It does, damn. Ash insists on serving everyone, and his spaghetti is every bit as good as it seems. He's put effort in, and it shows. I can't help but compare it to a few of the more straightforward dishes I've had at this same table. And yet, Ash himself seems nervous and fidgety. Finally, after people have slowed down a little from the initial rush and begun chatting, he clears his throat. Hey, I hope you're all enjoying. I wanted to take the opportunity to say, thank you for pulling my ass out of the gutter in the first place, and for everything you've all helped me with since. I really don't know where I'd be otherwise, and I don't think I can ever repay you. It's nothing. Really, all things considered, it hasn't been much of an imposition. Besides, you're good company. He shifts uncomfortably. Yeah, well, about that. Got enough saved up now, so should be able to get a deposit down on a place soon and get out of your hair. Figure I'll probably start contacting places after this weekend. There's a surprised pause. You sure? I don't know exactly what they're paying you, but it'd be down in the well, but even with the elevator fees to get to work, it'd be cheaper. Hell of a commute. Well, what can you do? Lark is oddly silent, furrowing their brows as they scrutinize Ash. Well, hey, congrats, dude. Of course he's like, hell yeah, get out of your bite. Yeah, congratulations. I try to sound supportive. Inside, I feel a sharp, sudden vertigo. I should be happy for him and for everything he's achieved, but I can't make the feeling come. Am I really so selfish that I feel sad at the thought of him doing well enough to leave? Of course he wasn't going to just stay on the couch forever. He has a life to live. Indeed, it's quite an accomplishment. Shit, we gotta go out this weekend then. You picked a good time, full moon and all. Was that this weekend? Well, yeah, every second Saturday, same as ever. For some reason I thought this was the first Saturday. I'm in. I've actually got it off for a change. Well, for a good cause like that, I'm sure I can find some excuse to get off work. How about you, Julian? You in? I blink. Of course, absolutely. Then we're set. Been a while since we went out properly as a group anyway. There's this place I wanted to try. The conversation continues into excited planning for the weekend to come. I find myself trying not to look at Ash too much, trying not to overthink it, trying not to feel. Saturday morning, I sleep in late and wake up lethargic. I doze off and on until afternoon. Probably for the best. If Alex is leading the charge tonight, God knows when we'll be getting back. Still, I don't feel that rested by the time I stumble downstairs in search of coffee. And so I suppose it figures that Ash comes in from one of his walks just as I'm trying not to think about him. Hey! Hey. Looking forward to tonight? Yeah, absolutely. It's like Alex was saying, been a while since we all really bothered with a whole full moon thing. Consequences of everyone being on weird shifts, I guess. Except him. He hits it pretty much every time. 9 to 5ers, man. Yeah, though, somehow, he'd find a way to make it happen regardless. He's that kind of guy. Probably. Well, hey, plenty of time to kill before then. Was thinking, any chance I could take you up on showing me how to make things in the exchange? might not have much opportunity left, is all. I'm torn between anxiety at being around him while I'm in this sort of state and just wanting to spend more time with him. I'm sure I sound completely, totally normal when I speak. Sure, let me just caffeinate real quick. Sounds good. He follows me into the kitchen and we make small talk while I brew a cup. He's already had some and declines my offer of more. I drink a bit faster than usual to wake up while he idly checks his interface. Together, we head up to my room. Well, not gonna miss having to pull the floor login maneuver when I've got my own place. Maybe a little bit. Your forest was really something. Hey, glad you liked it. Like I said, still kind of a work in progress, but, I'd like to show you more as it comes along. I'd like that. Who knows, if I can get my head around stuff in the exchange a bit more, it might be a decent way to keep in touch. I don't think I've got that kind of thing knocking around in me, but, it seems fun to just play around with. I read in a bit. Lark intimated that they showed Ash a thing or two. Not that I'm jealous. And anyway, he's probably not referring to that specifically. Well, plenty of people use it for just that. The big artsy projects are kinda outliers, but, it's there for everyone. Or it should be anyway. Well, ready to jump in? Yeah, see you on the other side. We both get comfortable and connect ourselves. The world fades as the input of my senses is replaced. I debate for a moment where to take him, but I figured if he liked it last time. The soundscape of old Earth surrounds us, or at least as best as I can recreate it. Ash looks on it, a smile curling at the corner of his lips. It's an expression I could get used to seeing on him. This really is amazing, Well, still working on it, like I was saying. If you say so. So, you're really just creating all of this right now? Basically, yeah. Huh. So you have to remember the whole thing each time? Well, not exactly. Like, the whole thing with thought forms is that you do still need a person actually maintaining them, right? Without any people, you just get the default environment. Sure. So, you are able to kind of save and load more complicated thought forms. You still have to provide attention to maintain them, but it's not anywhere near as hard as building from scratch. It's just that the thought form you're actually saving and loading is specific to your own mind, your own subjectivity. So I can load this scene that I've worked on, but you wouldn't be able to. You'd basically just get noise. It's part of why the exchange isn't, well, more commercialized than it already is. You can't just make something once and sell it everywhere forever. If you want to make something as elaborate as a concert, you really have to take the time to create all that yourself. Which I guess would also be why Lark still has a job. They're overjoyed, I'm sure. That's what they always tell me. Still, though, you built all of this over time and you're able to hold it all in your mind, I guess? Basically, but nothing this much at once takes practice. You should probably start simple. Want to get comfy? Sure. We end up sitting down in the shade of a tree. Some liberties are taken. The ground is a little more comfortable beneath us than bare earth likely would be. No insects bite us. Art is about knowing what to leave out. And also what to leave in. The shade-filtered sunlight dapples his white fur handsomely. Something in me aches as he settles himself down, sitting across from me. Okay, now what? Well, I guess it kinda depends on you. What do you want to make? Start with something simple. Easy question, but I can't think of anything. Could you show me first anyway? I want to see how you do it. Oh, sure. I think for a second. Well, we're already here anyways. I cup my hands together. Then, I open them. A dandelion rests in my palms. Its bright yellow head reflects what sunlight it catches, throwing its colors up against my dark fur. Jeez, it's really that simple? Once you have the hang of it, yeah, sorry, there really isn't much of a process to show. It's a nice flower. Well, these ones are funny. Here, watch this. It transfigures in my palm, the blooming giving way to seed. I hold the stalk up, its wispy head tugged slightly by the gentle breeze. Ash's eyes widen slightly. But then, I blow on it. Ash jerks back in surprise as the puff of air scatters seeds in his face. But what the... Jesus, what's... He quiets as he watches. Each small speck, each seed of a new flower, catches the breeze and begins to drift in its unseen current. There is a moment of silence between us as we watch their interplay with the scattered shafts of sunlight. Is that really how those things work? Sure is. Each one of those is a seed that grows up into another one. They must have ended up everywhere. They were kinda known for that. They are called dandelions, but were considered kind of a pest or a nuisance. Huh. Yeah. The silence returns. It's comfortable. Okay, I think I've got something. How do I actually do it? Well, that's the part that's a little hard to explain. Once you get it, it's like using a muscle you didn't know you had. You need to hold it in your mind with as much detail as you can manage. Not just an image, but the entire thing, the concept, the full sensory experience of it, and all of its properties. Then you just need to press it all down into something specific and real. Ash furrows his brow, holding a hand in front of him. I can see him concentrating hard, too hard, maybe. I don't know if trying to force it is, and then it happens in his hand, wavering a moment. Then solid and existent, a round red apple. I got it! You did. Catch. Ah! I flinch, then fumble widely and juggle the apple between my hands before finally getting a grip on it. That was for blowing the dandelion in your face, wasn't it? Maybe. Go on, take a bite. I oblige. There's a crisp, solid crunch, and then... It sucks, doesn't it? Well, I mean, it doesn't taste bad. That part is just missing. Taste tends to be one of the last things to nail down, just because it's one of those things you usually don't think about. For a first attempt, this is honestly great. Yeah, just... whatever. I'll figure it out. It's fine. I just kind of wanted to give you something back for, everything. Ash. Just means I'll need to try harder. So, the problem is that I wasn't holding the whole thing in my mind, right? What if We spend some quality time as Ash familiarizes himself more with the exchange. He's a quick study. By the end, he's gotten his head pretty well around it. He offers me the first bite of his magnum opus. His hand brushes mine as he places the round, now golden fruit into my palm. It's just as crisp as before, but now it has that familiar taste, sweet and fine. The sun hangs frozen in its place, permitting us an endless and pleasant afternoon. Only the outside world calls us away in the end. There, the sun is set. I end up taking the shower first as we get ready for our evening plans. I try to let the hot water calm and soothe me. I go through the motions, the same as I always have. My mind keeps racing. Even for something as simple as squirting shampoo on my palm, I find my hand trembling and get some on the floor of the shower. Fuck. Fuck. I rest my hands against the cool of the tile, breathing heavily. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to be okay with just hanging out with him when I feel like this? He's right to leave. He's right to want to leave. And the idea of going up to him. Hey, Ash, remember all the time I spent paying your rent? Well, I'm also incredibly bad for you. Just saying. Even the thought of putting him in that position makes me disgusted with myself. Fuck me. I barely ever get out with the guys on full moons, but this is going to be the worst one I've ever had. I can't even get drunk, or I know I'm going to do something incredibly stupid. I just need to get through, tonight, tomorrow, and then he'll probably find a place next week. One step at a time. I also need to hurry up with the shower so he can have his turn. And, as pent up as I'm feeling, I'm absolutely not going to jerk off in here right before Ash comes in. No way I'm risking it, with his sense of smell. Being sexually frustrated is just the cherry on top of how this evening is going to go. Soon enough, everybody's cleaned up, grabbed a bite to eat, and we're ready to see what the evening holds. Outside, the full moon raises high over Megiddo. Well, it's a solar lamp, obviously. But, on the second Saturday of each month, they light it up at night and pay their hues. Businesses open late, drink flows, and pretty much everyone young and available has their wildest night of the month. Assuming they aren't working the businesses, pouring the drinks, or otherwise busy. Which, for once, isn't us. Right, so I'm thinking we hit up one or two bars first, and then there's this club that finally opened where Quadruple X used to be that I wanted to check out. Oh, fuck no. Alex, you know I ain't dancing on this bag. Not even a little bit? Come on, a little couldn't hurt. They'll probably have tables somewhere. Probably? Maybe? Uh-huh. Doesn't Silver Lounge have a whole setup with a bar on a separate floor? We could just go there and everyone's happy, right? Sure, works for me. Aw, come on. I wanted to check this place out, though. I'm sure your unconquerable spirit will endure this trial. Besides, Silver Lounge is an institution. Ash, help me out here. Sorry, mob rule. So, what? Henry's first? That dive? You're killing me. We don't go to Henry's first, but Alex grumbles about the choice anyway. We end up in a decent place to get slightly nicer than usual. Beers, plus a shared appetizer or two for everyone. Alex gets his way on our second stop. He's picked out a nice cocktail spot. Not a lot of those around. Basic whiskey and vodka, sure, but plenty of your botanicals and things didn't really survive Exodus. They definitely wouldn't survive decontamination, anyway, but there's been some interesting experimental stuff in recent years. We get some waters while we take a look at the menu. Well, these sound interesting. That's one way of putting it. It won't kill you to live a little. They've got flavor descriptions and everything. Honestly, I'm with Alex on this one. You can have your million IPA tomorrow, Amir. But I could also have it today. It's one drink, couldn't hurt. Tough to decide, though. There's certainly quite a selection. I don't know, What do you think, Julian? We're sat next to each other, and he ends up leaning in close so we can see each other's menus. I like the fact that he's adventurous and wants to try something new. I like him leaning towards me and the slight feeling of his breath on my shoulder. Jesus Christ, I need to get a grip. I'm kinda split between the Purple Emperor and the Sand and Stone. I was kinda looking at those two myself. How about we just get one of each and share them? Sure, that sounds good. I'm just getting a whiskey, sour. Ugh, Philistine. The Evening Garden sounded interesting. Nah, I'm getting the Ring Out for sure. That one sounded strong. I'll live. But in what condition? Well, anyway, 5 drinks. Gonna need 3 people at the bar. I could use the stretch. Sure, I'll go. Well, I'm closest. I'm wedged a bit awkwardly against the wall. Back in a sec. Sounds good. I watch them head up to the bar. Let's be honest, there's one of them I'm watching, really. Hopeless, I sigh at myself and take the opportunity to get some water in. Alex looks at me and waggles his eyebrows. I have a terrible feeling. So, you asking him tonight, or what? I choke on my water. Not just inside my mouth, some fully comes out of my nose. I nearly hit my forehead on the table when I double over to cough. It's a fucking mess. Several napkins are involved in cleanup. Alex leans forward as if to help, but I wave him off. I have no idea what you're talking about. Dude. Fuck. I sigh again. It hasn't been that obvious, has it? Julian, you've got a lot of positive qualities, but a good poker face ain't one of them. No, man, I can't. What? Why not? He's moving out anyways. Not like he's hanging around if he says no. It's not about that. It's the whole situation. I mean, you saw how we found him. You've been around through, well, everything. It'd be weird. I mean, yeah, I figured that was why you hadn't so far. Again, he's leaving. Not like you're paying his rent anymore. There's no power difference or whatever. What's the problem? Well, what if he feels, indebted? Or God, what if he thinks it's why I've been helping him? Well, is it? No! So, there you go. He's not stupid, and we already established you're a terrible liar. It's not just about that. He's a good person. What if the fact that I've helped him influences him? Julian, my dude, you're a nice guy. Being nice isn't fucking mind control. What if he's a grown-ass adult that can want things for himself? You don't have to make decisions for him. He's moving out anyway. Like, straight up, he's not depending on you anymore. So what's the issue? I can't help but keep struggling. There's still some instinct in me that this is wrong. Or maybe it's just easier for it to be wrong. Maybe wanting things, maybe bearing myself in what I want to another person is hard, and maybe it's just easier if there's a reason I shouldn't. Fuck. Whatever's going through my head apparently shows on my expression, and Alex grins triumphantly. Come on, finish the sentence. Shit, you're probably right. Ooh, say it again. No. Spoil sport. I'm surprised to hear all this from you anyway. I remember you weren't big on him staying in the first place. Turned out he was right. Besides, if you two start shacking up in your room, the living room gets cleared up either way. Alex, Jesus Christ. Just saying, I could see you and Ash working out. Oh, speak of the devil. The others return with our drinks. The sand and stone is surprisingly mellow for how smoky it ends up being. The Purple Emperor has a little bit too much going on for my taste, but the herbal notes that I can pick out are interesting. I'd probably like it more if I had a more developed palate. We go back and forth on which one's better, but end up splitting them just about evenly. Amir's happy with his, of course. Lark also seems pretty satisfied when they finish, and it's not like they're the easiest to please. Alex does fine with his, but then that man Alex does fine with his, but then that... Alex does fine with his, but then that man... Is it meant to be, but then again, that man? I don't know, but then that man. Yeah, it probably should be then again. I'll assume. It doesn't sound very correct to me. I've had times before where I've read things and it didn't sound correct to me. And then like I thought about it more and I was like, oh yeah, that does actually make sense. So I feel like in this case though, I feel like it should be then again. Alex does fine with his, but then again, that man has a distressing amount of alcohol tolerance. If nothing else, he's still energetic to push for us to move to our next destination. We pay our tabs and make our way to the Silver Lounge. Amir gives in and gives us his best on the dance floor for a bit, but soon he has to tap out and head upstairs to the bar. Which Lark went directly to anyway, so he'll be in good company. Alex goes right in for the center of the crowd and seems to be having the time of his life. I hang out a bit around the outskirts. Being a bit taller than most people always attracts just a little more attention than I'm looking for when I get too into the mix. There's something to be said for always having good visibility though, especially when the floor is packed like this. I make eye contact with another taller guy, a lion, his mane well styled, and we end up dancing with each other for a while. I'm just buzzed enough to let my self-consciousness slip for a bit and get into it. It's nice. The beat is deep and heavy enough to sweep through me and move me, like bobbing on the surface of a rolling sea. The crowd and energy moved me against him. Still, after a couple minutes, the lion's eye catches someone behind me, and he gives a nod and grin before slipping away. But I'm not annoyed or anything. I'm where I want to be, and I flow right on to dancing with someone else as we drift apart. I end up smiling back at a ram next. Even though he's shaved his wool down to stay cool, he's still a heavy guy, but he's a good dancer, lighter on his feet than he looks, and I have to go hard to keep up with his energy. I feel pulled along into his orbit, doing my best just to keep up. I don't expect him to linger very long, and he doesn't, but there's something exhilarating in the attempt. And then the music slows and Ash is there, and we're together. I don't think he dances much. I don't either, but he has rhythm. He moves with passion. He's ferocious and joyful and heart-stoppingly beautiful. His body brushes against mine. Amid the press of the crowd, there is a lingering moment of shared, crude grace. We dance, time stretches. We move more closely against one another. God, Ash is so soft. I feel the way his body fits against mine, and to my shame, I feel myself commit it to memory. He cranes his head upwards, and his breath is warm against my neck and the underside of my jaw. All I want is for this moment not to end. He says something. I can't hear him. He gestures, and we move off the dance floor to where things are a little quieter. Hey, that was nice. Yeah, it was. It's been a long night. I'm not as sober as I could be, but Ash is looking at me. I'm looking at him. I lean down. There you are! I recoil from Ash like I've been shocked, guilty, and shamefaced. Fuck. What were we just... Lark's holding Alex's hair back in the bathroom. I think we're gonna want to get him back home. Shit. Alright, yeah, that sounds good. I guess it's getting late, anyway. Yeah. Man, they almost had their moment. Would have been nice. My heart rate slows as we collect ourselves, collect Alex, and start to head home. The night air is refreshing after the suffocating noise of Silver Lounge. And yet, I can't help but glance at Ash as we go and feel like I've let something precious slip between my fingers. We all sleep late. I don't feel too bad. I was at least vigilant about remembering to hydrate. Amir and Lark have evening shifts. Alex is the lone casualty of last night and barely leaves his room. Today's my last day with Ash, and I just know I won't get around to it if I don't tell him how I feel before he goes. I spend a while overthinking the best way to do things. Not too long, fortunately, and Ash is still in the living room when I head downstairs. Hey, Ash. I was thinking, it might be your last weekend here and all. Do you want to head up to the Wreath? I mean, I really do need to save money with the move and all. Was there anything in particular you had in mind up there? Just visiting the parks and all. It's on me. You sure about that? I've seen the prices up there. Well, I mean, the lift tickets anyway. I was thinking maybe we'd pack sandwiches or something. You know what? Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm in, thanks. It takes a while to get things together, but we head out by early afternoon. Transit isn't too crowded getting to the elevator. Guess most people got their travel in yesterday. I pay for 2 tickets and we get checked in, filing into the pedestrian section away from the few private vehicles. Whoa. Okay. So you can also take vehicles up here too. There's a stomach-churning lurch before the platform begins to move, a low hum sinking into the background. You know, it's the funniest thing. I can barely think of what the last... You know, it's the funniest thing. I can barely think of the last time I went up. Must have been when I was a kid or something. It's not like it's that far. Yeah, it's been a while for me too. Not sure why, really. Heh. Always some reason to put it off, I guess. Hey, thanks again, by the way. Really, don't mention it. Ash seems excited to look out over the railing, but then, so am I. The little slice of street we'd stood on drops away beneath us. Shapes resolve into a hole as we climb higher and higher. The dense city streets of the disc circle outwards around the well to take the shape of its namesake. Skyscrapers and office buildings throw shadows outward from the solar column. Higher and higher, we still climb. The last section of the city to be built out, the architecture of the Wreath is cut above the city below. Everything feels intentional. Nothing's just a box put down somewhere because that's where land was cheap. Even the most utilitarian buildings feel like works of art. We meander a bit as we disembark from the elevator, just taking it all in. Of course, we end up steering away from the shopping and dining districts. We don't have that kind of money. I'd spend some time looking up parks. There's one in a reasonable walking distance that has some pretty good trails, so we head straight for it. Together, we set off into the wildest parts of Megiddo. Strange. What is? Well, I guess it isn't strange, really. Just can't help but think, compared to that place you made in the exchange, it's so quiet. Not even any crickets. Oh, yeah. I think they control them a bit more aggressively up here. One person's brilliant idea for cricket protein as a food source during Exodus, and just a little bit of carelessness single handedly spawned Megiddo's most prevalent and well known pest, and a thriving market in earplugs for sleeping. But Ash is right. There's no bird song. There's only the slightest whisper of insects, the buzz of the occasional bee, and a few other major pollinator species, but nothing more. It's just our footsteps and the empty breeze rustling the leaves. I guess it's all still up there, on the surface. Somebody will hear it all again, someday. The corner of Ash's mouth quirks in a smile. If nobody's up there to hear it, does it make a sound? I think so. I'm not even sure what I mean by that, but I know it's what I feel. Ash seems to take something from it, and he smiles sadly. Maybe. Those people are lucky, whoever they are going to be. Conversation stays comfortable and infrequent as we roam the trails. Eventually, we find a good place to stop and eat. The sandwiches are just some cold cuts, really. But it's nice. Ash seats himself on a large stone with a casual grace, one leg tucked up against his body and one dangling down over the side. God, it's hard to think how much has happened in the last, little over a month? I know how long it's been, but I think back on our time together. Something like that, yeah. Man, it really does feel like longer. Yeah, hasn't all been bad. No, that's shitty. I mean, the job stuff sucked, obviously, but you've all been great. Just got really lucky, I guess. I think we did too. We? Say something. Say something. My heart is pounding in my throat. I chew the world's slowest bite of sandwich. Well, this time, I won't disappear. Not if I can help it. You don't have to. You can stay. We can stay right here, sitting on these stones. We can feel the breeze across us. We can talk while the sun sets. I know you won't. I'm excited to see what's next for you, now that you're back. I know the dishwashing thing isn't great, but, it's a job. Life is long. There's so much else to do. If you aren't a fucking coward. He smiles, handsome and elusive. Yeah, there really, really is. Think I forgot that the first time. Won't make that mistake again. I'm I'm glad. I am too. We finish eating. We dust the crumbs from our hands. We stow our trash. The trail leads us onwards, and not a few minutes later, we emerge onto a vista. Wow, what a cool background. I'm on the edge of my seat right now. I haven't really talked much between these, but I'm very much on the edge of my seat to see what happens here. The forest recedes at an overlook, the momentary illusion of nature dispelled. Replacing it is everything, the city, the world. Together, we look down over the splendor of Megiddo. God, yeah. The sun is low on the solar column. All the known world bathes in vivid reds and oranges. The breeze that circled about the dome of the city for a century or more ruffles over us in our silence. What does it make you think about? Hmm? You know, the view. I pause. I think about some of what I read about the old cities pre-Exodus, about the way each one had, a particular character and the way that people talked about him. I wonder what they think about this one, whether it even makes sense to talk about it that way if it's just everything. If it's a prison, you mean? The only true air I've ever known is sweet on my tongue. I don't think it has to be. We watch the sinking, dimming sun. The moment breathes. Now or never. Both at the same. Okay, I'll just read both. Julian, I need to ask you so. Before you go, Shit. Sorry, You go. No, you first. I'm laughing nervously. There's a terror in me. I can't make words form. I'm laughing too hard. Well, I think maybe we're going to say similar things. So, guess it doesn't really matter who. Please don't go. Shit. I mean, sorry, that's not what I mean. I mean, it is what I mean. Julian. I just don't. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you go or not. It's not. This isn't really about. Julian. Slow down. Deep breaths. I try. Sorry. Nothing to apologize for. You first, I guess. I grip my own hands as if I can ground the tension like an electric current. One more time, I gather myself. I care about you. A lot. I always did, back then. You were my best friend, but this is different. Getting to know you again. Getting to know who you've become. Even just in the short time you've been back, seeing how you've thrived, I've started caring about you in a different way. I want more than to be your friend. I want to be with you. Julian. There can be no going back. I suppress a tremble, awaiting judgment. Ash looks out over the city. No one has started up on my end. Of course, I was mostly just grateful at first. You're a good man. Always have been. Think you would have done the same thing no matter who you'd found. But you've grown, too. You're your own person now. Not just trying to fit yourself around people. You have a full life, and you've worked hard for the things that fill it. And you filled it with so much. With things I never would have imagined. With things that I want to be a part of. I started falling for you, too. Not just started. I have, I guess. So, there it is. I wait, expecting him to continue. Ash looks towards the sunset with a strained expression. So, in that case, are we... Julian, what you said about seeing me thrive, I want to keep doing it. I want to keep fighting. I want to keep growing. I want to learn who I can be when I'm not just surviving. But I can't be a project, Julian. I can't be a burden. I can't be someone you're investing in to be happy with later. I have to actually be enough for you right now. You are. That's... God. I like being around you, Ash. I like who you are. How could I not? You are enough for me. He smiles sadly at me. And even if I were a burden, you'd never say it. Like I said, you're a good man, which I guess is almost the problem. Unbidden, Alex's words are in my head. Maybe I am. Maybe I wouldn't say anything else. Maybe I couldn't. But like you said, I've grown. I can want things for myself, even if I end up being wrong. I can want you, not as a project, not because you need help, for who you are, for myself. I know you're going through stuff, rebuilding your life, and I want to help with that, because it's you doing it. I want to be with you, Ash. And if I'm secretly lying to myself, if I'm confused about how I feel, if it's really about doing the right thing, I'm good with that. I can decide to go for it anyway, even if it might be wrong, even if it might not work out. You don't have to make that decision for me. You know what I want. What do you want? He sighs. Yeah, you're right. I have to protect you from yourself. He smiles and he looks a bit impressed. Less than I could stand to learn, I guess. Where'd you get all this wisdom? I feel a faint blush. Don't laugh, but it was something Alex said to me. He gave me some good advice on our whole situation. You're telling me that, out of everyone you could have asked, you went for Alex for advice? Yeah? The tension breaks and we both laugh. Oh my god! You can't ever tell him I brought it up, or I'm never gonna hear the end of it. I think I laugh harder than I have in a long, long time, doubling over. I'm still catching my breath as I straighten up. He might be laughing more at how hard I'm laughing than anything else at this point. His eyes meet mine as I settle. Is that it then, I guess? Are we together? Well, come here and let me show you. I step towards him, and the world holds its breath. Ash wears the sunlight like a haloed saint, but his smile isn't one of infinite and distant grace. He is fiercely alive, here and now on this earth. Ash isn't beautiful like a painting. He is beautiful like fire. He is beautiful like dawn. We kiss, and Ash's mouth is hot against mine. His hands grasp me, his fingers sink into my fur. I let him pull me down, and I willingly surrender a shuddering breath into him. My arms find the shape of his body and hold tight. Together, we drift into that moment. There is an ebb and flow. We nearly draw apart, only to return more deeply to one another. We fit against one another. Slowly, we learn the shape of our intertwining. Eventually, words will come. We'll find them together as we leave, hand in hand, giddy and relieved. And the golden sun will be quenched in the well and cast the deepening colors of evening above us. He leans against me as we descend down the lift. The jewel box spectacle of the night city stretches before us. I take it in, all of it, all its hurt, all its possibility, seen for a moment with eyes unclouded. And for all its flaws, I can't bring myself to hate it. This, I think, is it. This is the place we've called home. This is the world. And, for the moment, it's enough. I nuzzle the top of Ash's head. The scent of him is still new, intriguing and wild, and I can feel his smile as he nudges against me in turn. His slow breaths are warm against my forearm. The breeze of descent ruffles over the both of us, and I wrap my arm around him against the chill. It's dark when we get back home. The lights in the living room are off, but we don't bother hitting them. Did you, want to come up? I feel more than see his grin. I did. His hand brushes my hip as he ascends the stairs behind me. I feel a little nervous, shiver, the good kind. As soon as the door to my room closes behind us, Ash is on me again. It's a different kind of kiss this time, heated and demanding. His hands push up beneath my shirt, ruffling against the grain of fur up my stomach. Ash's fingers are still a little cool from outside. The shock of them draws a sharp intake of breath from me. He walks me back, nudging me closer to the bed. His fingers trail that slightest bit lower, picking at my waistband. If the world is kind and if I'm luckier than I deserve, I will never let go. Well, I've made my case. I don't know what I'm supposed to do if you simply refuse to see it. Maybe, but it doesn't change the underlying facts. Sorry, bud. It is what it is. I'm on your side, but... Ugh, democracy is cruel. Sorry, Lark. That's movie night for you. It's been 2 months since I came back from the dead. I'm cuddled up on the couch with my boyfriend, and we're watching an incredibly shitty comedy. You know, good shitty. He's a big guy and makes for a pretty good pillow. Work's been a drag, if I'm being honest, but there's other things in life. All else being equal, I think I have it pretty good. I'm gonna grab a... I'm gonna grab another beer. You want one? Julian raises his half-finished bottle. Nah, I'm good. A little reluctantly, I slip out of his grasp at the end of the couch and walk over to the kitchen. Down in front. You aren't the show I'm paying to see. Yeah. I grab and open an amber bottle, taking a pull before I start walking back. As I re-enter the living room, though, something catches my eye and I glance down. It's just the bottle. There's something about how the liquid moves inside it. The walls of the bottle, they contain the motion of the liquid. Oh, hey. Sorry, I was gonna ask. Can you get me one too? The volume remains fixed, no matter how the bottle is perturbed. The walls of the bottle define the liquid within. And those walls operate under fixed, inviolable principles. Or not, I guess. Sorry, is this about the down in front thing? Was just joking. Didn't mean anything by it. You know, classic Alex, one of those bits. But the bottle is not solid. It's fragile. Its walls could break at any moment. It simply isn't real. None of it is. The fluid dynamics of the liquid unspool before me, the equations fraying at their ends into meaningless, hollow answers. But I can see the forms of the real equations lurking underneath. The brown glass occults them, hiding them from my sight. Ash? But at the seam, at the weakness, and ingress, I've almost got it. I just need... If I can just write my own work down, I can account for the last variables. If I find a nearby canvas. I must work quickly. They'll slip away again. I will forget. I can't lose them. I need to solve them, now, and record. You have an itch or something? I trace out the figures as I work. My finger is too blunt, but my canvas is too soft. It won't hold the numbers. It's not good enough. I need to keep the equations in my head. I can't lose the numbers. I have to write. I have to. I need... Ash? Buddy, you're really starting to weird me out. Say something. Jesus Christ! What the fuck is he? I need a sharper pencil. Ash! What? Where am... Julian? What's happening? I've got you. I've got you. You're safe. We're going to figure this out. We're going to figure all of this out. I promise. To be continued. Ooh. That was really... God, that was the best update so far. I mean, it was worth the wait. That was so good. The CG, everything. Finally Julian and Ash getting together. Them going up the lift and everything, and all the art that went to it. That was so good. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time reading that. The whole part where Julian is talking to himself, the whole part where he like gives his like little speech to Ash was so good. It wasn't making me cry, but it was definitely giving me that kind of like when your eyes start to like water just like a little bit, like because it was just good. It was really good writing. I really, really enjoyed it. You've reached the end of the current bill. Thanks for playing. Yes. I will probably don't have to, but I'm just gonna save right here. Well, cool. That was Under Heaven. I think it's part 5 for me now. Technically, this was build 6, but yes, part 2 is next, and I will very eagerly on the edge of my seat wait to see what happens next, because now that we finally got a big arc out of the way with them being together, now we gotta figure out what's going on with Ash, because there's something weird going on in that man's head. I still feel like I don't know, like, I feel like he's being like mind controlled in some way, or he's like there's another person inside of him, maybe? Like, that's what I'm thinking, because, I played Cyberpunk, and, like, I won't spoil it, but, like, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe there's maybe there's someone else in his head, something weird like that happening, but it's, like, taking control of him. So, I don't know. It was cool, though, because that was the first time we've seen him, like, be this other person, because before he would always just black out and then he was awake. In this case, he was, we actually saw him while he was blacking out, what he was doing while he was blacking out. But yeah, I'm excited for what's happening next, and if you watch this whole thing, thank you very much for watching. I have a lot of fun reading these, and I get quite a lot of views actually now, at least for me. I think my last video on this has almost reached 250 views now. I'm looking right now. Yeah, as of right now, that has reached 260 views, and that makes me really happy that people are watching these things. Even the last one, yeah, a lot of these episodes, they have quite higher view counts than I normally get, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you to people who are watching them. I know there's a few people out there leaving comments and stuff like that. Thanks for leaving comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I got to 500 subscribers about a week ago now, 2 weeks ago now, I think, and that makes me very happy. I've been on and off with this channel for 9 years, and while I don't do enough of it to, keep up with the algorithm and like build and grow a channel, it's still cool that I've been slowly climbing to other places. I'm hoping to do more of this try my best in my free time to keep doing this, and hopefully I can get to 1,000 subscribers sooner than later, because 500 subscribers in 9 years is pretty damn slow. But I'm happy about it. It's a milestone that I am proud of, and I'm, at the end of the day, who gives a shit about the numbers? I'm just glad someone out there is watching my videos. But anyways, that'll be all. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next build, aka my 6th video.